Hey guys, welcome to the show. So I'm feeling really, really smug, and I apologise in advance for being so smug, but I haven't spent anything for 2 days, 3 days, and I don't care. And I think I'm more smug about not caring than I am about actually doing it. Do you see what I mean? I thought it was going to be really burdensome. I've filled my time with new artworks, so I think the project Saatchi is kind of occupying all my free time, and I'm completely obsessed with these digital pens I've got and Procreate. Absolutely love them. So I did release a really fantastic painting yesterday. Now, people, I think, nowadays are very untrusting of anyone who works in digital media, and they think they just press a button and, some AI machine creates something. And it's not like that at all. Actually, I always have to do masses and masses of work. Yes, I use lots of tech and chopping and Photoshop and various software packages. I use an awful lot of digital assistants. But I would say still that, 99% of the hard work is actually done just with my hand and my pen. And I just went to see how much I've got to pay off on my iPad. Because, the prospect of an upgrade is very, very exciting for an artist. I mean, I don't need one. Don't get me wrong. This is 18 months old, this one. So there's no way I need a new one. I mean, I haven't even got a new pen yet, but I'll treat myself in 4 months to a new pen. I'm very gentle with the pens. I don't press really, really hard. I think some people press very hard. And they're constantly bang, 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 and I'm not like that at all. I'm very much a gentle sketcher, and I use the pen exactly as I would a paintbrush or a pencil, basically. So anyway, my new favourite pen is the oil paint pen. I've finally figured out what it is that it does. And what it does, guys, when you apply it, it mixes up on the iPad with the colours that are already there if you start rubbing, which is what would happen if you applied wet oil paint onto wet oil paint on a canvas. Do you see what I'm saying? So it behaves just as if it was real oil paint, and you can splodge it. And you can, texturize it. You can do all these things with it. And I've only just figured it out. I'm absolutely amazed. And I kind of figured it out because I was using a different software called Artset. And that's what that was doing. And I was thinking, I wonder why Procreate doesn't do that with the oil paints. And I played about a bit, and lo and behold, that is exactly what it does. My new favourite thing. So I've done this oil painting, and there are a bunch of tigers and a lady, and I've done it in the style of those old 70s paintings. Do you remember those? I think they were kind of tourist paintings, and they had just kind of Spanish women, the faces with, quite buxom, and some sort of romanticised background. I mean, they're portraits, essentially. Do you remember those? And I've really got that feeling about it. I've managed to incorporate that. Slightly cheesy, very kitsch. I absolutely love it. And I love these oil paints, these digital oil paints. They're my absolutely most fantastic brand new thing. But anyway, I went on to a bit of a roll, and I'm doing another one with kittens and a sexy lady. And I've been using crayon because she had sort of fuzzy ginger hair, and it was really working with this crayon brush. And I've kind of incorporated that onto the cats as well. So everything's done in crayon. And it's just superb, absolutely superb. So I'll try and get that one finished tonight. But the tiger one is up. It's called Tiger. And that's up on my Saatchi. So if you want to go and have a look at that. Anyway, then I'm going to be a real bore the next 4 months, because I'm just going to be talking about, how great I feel because I've discovered this new thing. At 61, to learn lovely, beautiful new methods to create wonderful artworks. And I'm aware that people do give digital art a very hard time. But it's only really the, what would I say, that, the sort of, the kind of Facebook element. Oh, it's not real, it's done with AI, that sort of thing. They used to say about Procreate, Photoshop. Oh, she's not an artist, she uses Photoshop, Not to me personally, I've never used Photoshop until more recently. But, there are some brilliant artists who use Photoshop. It's just a tool. It's just a tool. There are artists using collage, who cut things out of paper and put them together. And they make brilliant work. And you wouldn't say, oh, it's not art, it's just a collage. It's cheating. So why would you say that for Photoshop? Do you see what I'm saying? And I do think that some of my work is rather like a collage, because I'll take, work that I've generated on my AI, say a tiger, and I'll cut the tiger out and I'll put it on top of my stripper. and then I'll paint them in. You paint them in, you paint over them with your oil paints. So it's a bit like sort of tracing, if you like. But I don't do that all the time. I mean, there's loads of different things. I'm going to do that with one of my cats isn't looking right. So I need to reference a real cat whose face I like. That's more to the point. And then it's really useful because you can take the cat into a layer on your Procreate and you can copy it. So you get that hand-done element. And there's nothing wrong with copying. You should always copy. You always reference the real thing, the real McCoy. Even if you're doing an abstract, always reference the real thing. And we have a wealth of photography now that is accessible to artists, which is fantastic. We no longer have to go to Nepal and find a bloody great tiger, in the flesh, as it were. Are there tigers in Nepal? I'm not sure if there are. Yeah, must be, surely. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just really excited by this new wave, and it does mean, I mean, I really do sit for long hours over each image that I'm doing, but they are much quicker than they used to be when I was using real paint. So have a look at those if you're into art. So I was looking at all my credit cards, all 3 of them, and I'm already paying them off. And I actually do think I may have achieved my goals in 3 months, not 4, although I will still have the iPad. And I was thinking, well, do I just pay that off? But I don't think it's such a good idea, is it, with tech, phones? So I thought what I might do, because my 3 months or 4 months will be over of this strategy of thriftiness, I might upgrade my phone to a really good camera phone. I'm not sure which brand, has the best review, so I'll go and have a look. But I'm pretty sure my company, once I've only got a bit of credit to pay off, they'll do me an upgrade, and it'll be a really good deal. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. So yeah, I'm so excited about when I can spend money. Food-wise, paring it back, being thrifty, etc., etc. I noticed I've got margarine in the fridge, which I won't use, so I'm going to have to make things with the. I mean, I got it to bake, or give it to my mum, but I'm not sure if mum would eat it. It's vegan margarine, and of course I don't want to waste anything. But literally, I don't use it. I have no cause, and I bought it when I was doing the cookery show. So I'll have a think about that, because obviously I'm going through a recycle 4 months and a not waste 4 months. So how could I put this pot of margarine to good financial gain? Well, the only way is to make something, isn't it? To create a lovely movie. So after this weekend, because this weekend I'm doing my new single, I've written the words. I really like the words. It's about friendship, and they're particularly beautiful and touching. So I kind of like this touching ballad side of me. And Mr. Capricious was a bit of a touching ballad. And Lush Grove too, I think that was, of that, in that same vein. So yes, and talking of lush, a sort of lushly layered piece of music that I'm thinking about. So my A major and A major 6/9 and A minor shift. That's what I'm planning today on piano to go with these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lyrics. And I'm thinking about sort of textured drumming as well. How would I go about that? You know, to make... I mean, the drums are obviously very exciting for me, and I'm really into drums because Telltale Club really started as a bit of a sort of vocal, punchy, rhythmic tale-teller. You know, the wording is rhythmic, and poets have that, do they not? They're quite keen on rhythm. Often that's what makes a poem, is the rhythm. Rap artists know that as well. Of course they do. And I remember doing a Shakespearean sonnet to a drum beat, and I timed it so that it was in exact rhythmic resonance with the drum beat, and it was really cool. I really liked it. And Shakespeare would have had some kind of rhythm as well to his, when he imagined these speeches, these monologues and dialogues that he produced. He would have imagined the rhythm of them, of course. Writers do that. There's always a rhythm. I learnt very early on when I was doing film. I did a master's in film in Edinburgh, and I think the one big thing I took away from that was the first thing you have to do when you sit down to make a film is work out the pace. Because if you suddenly jump from really fast to really slow, unless it's a dream sequence, it weirds out the audience, completely weirds them out. Now, you might want to do that if there's an accident, for example, a car crash, or, when it suits, of course you would do that. But generally speaking, the pace of the film is set within the first sort of minute, really, you know? Certainly 10 minutes. And I think as a writer, I've carried that, when I do a poem or when I do a song. So really interested this single to do something dynamic with the drums that I haven't done before. Yeah? And I'm not sure what that will involve, but I'll tell you about it tomorrow, definitely. So I'm going to be doing that all weekend. I'm going to give myself 3 full days to do it. Because if you do it in 2, there's always a rush at the end. So I thought, no, do it in 3. I've already got the lyrics. I've already got the key. I've been playing around with the piano. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I mean, I'm going to improvise it, as always, but I know exactly what I want it to sound like. And how the rhythm and the pace of it is already set in my mind. Do you see? So really exciting stuff. Okay, guys, well, look, I'm going to go and get on and be smug that I've only got 3 months when I'll be debt-free, and possibly 4 months and I can have some new tech. I'm really thinking about this a lot because it's the imagination of being in that space, wealthy because I've got no debt, and with a really smart, cool phone, which will be my only debt at that point, a new debt. I'm imagining myself, I'm seeing myself in that position, in that very spot. I see myself swanning around with my new tech, debt-free. It's just wonderful. It's really wonderful. Sorry if you're not, if you're in debt and you're drowning in it. I'll be doing some broadcasts on how to save bloody money because, I'm taking this very seriously, by the way. Making lots of clothes as well. So there will be TV, but not in the same quantity as there has been, if you see what I mean. Telltaleclub.com, iServalan.com, estelamer.blogspot.com.